once again, everybody. The Colonel Bob Sheridan, this time coming to you from Poland. Standing next to me is Don King, the promoter of this great fight. We have a local promoter, and Don, we're going to take a look at ADAMEK at the weigh-in. The guy is obviously in tremendous physical shape. He gets the local promoter with the girls bringing him in. They robbed this stuff from Don King.
Yes, they did, and we are going to continue to do that around Europe. And I just want to be able to thank Jim Dolan. I think he's a genius. He's bringing in world global events to Madison Square Garden Network and Fox Sports. And I think it's just fabulous because we're going to be showing them the biggest and the best fights. But Jim Dolan had the vision to step out and do this. Him and Chuck Dolan is just revolutionizing the sport, bringing these great events from Europe to United States at Madison Square Garden. And we're going to talk about Galata in a minute because Galata is back and we're bringing him to the Garden. And so I'm excited about that. That's ADAMEK there now.
ADAMEK scaling underneath the limit. He's in great physical shape. He lost a tough one at Chad Dawson his last time out. There you are, Don, at the weigh-in, and I know you were thrilled. Talk about your local promoter. He's done a nice job. Young fella, loves boxing, loves this part of the world.
He's a great guy. You know, I'm very happy to be in there with him, and he's really doing a tremendous job. His name is Bagsit, and he's really making things happen for us in Europe. And I'm so excited about it that I want everybody in the world to know. So who stepped up to the plate to make it possible? Jim Dolan. And Jim Dolan is doing an ingenious job because the best fights are now coming from Europe. Say what you will have made, but, you know, 2 title upsets with Mormac and O'Neal Bell, and then the losing by Valuev, you know what I mean, to Shigeev, all right there at Madison Square Garden's Fox Sports Network. That's tremendous, where boxing has been looking like it was in a decline. It's not in a decline. It's on the move upwards, and thanks to Jim Dolan, we're going to make it a smash.
You know, the amazing thing is, I called the fight in France. It was on the 17th of March. I'll never forget it because it was the first 17th of March. I didn't have a beer since I was about 10. That aside, the O'Neal Bell fight was a better fight than the Oscar De La Hoya fight. I mean, it was sensational, the fight itself.
Well, no question in the fight. Oscar De La Hoya's personality and his selling power is what carried the day. But the fight, everyone knows, every fight fan, every enthusiast of fight fans know that the best fight was on Fox and Madison Square Garden Network with Mormac and O'Neal Bell. And it was an upset. The champion, the former champion, came back and reclaimed his crown. And the reason that you saw it in America, Jim Dolan. And so I'm just so very happy to have that association and looking forward to expanding it to make it bigger and better so that the fans in America will not have to be cheated and left out on these great events that's happening in Europe.
What was that guy's name?
Jim Dolan is the name. Boxing and sports is his game. He's a vision. He's a visionary, and he's a terrific, dynamic individual, but he has the intestinal fortitude to take risks, and that's what leadership is. Leadership is how many people will follow you, not how big you are. It's how many people do you got that will do what you want to do, and we are now following Jim Dolan's leadership, and we're going to make Madison Square Garden what it should be, the temple of boxing, the oasis in New York that demonstrates what all the world wants to see, boxing and sports and entertainment.
I had to do that, didn't I? I know you folks want to hear one more time about Jim Dolan. Sorry. All right, here we are. Down in the locker room with Tomasz ADAMEK. Talk about ADAMEK. This is an action fighter. This is a terrific fighter.
ADAMEK is a great fighter. When I seen him beat Ulrich in Berlin, it was just tremendous. And now he's coming back after a loss, right, for another world title in a higher weight division because he couldn't make the weight and he did not fight so good with Chad Dawson. But tonight he's going to try to reclaim his championship by fighting this guy from Panama, Viva Panama, Luis Pineda. And it's going to be a great event again. And the winners is America. The winners is, when you say Jim Dolan, you say America.
All right, coming up next, stick right with us around the world. Coming up, Tomasz ADAMEK against Pineda. It'll be a dandy. Stick.
Western Whopper. Flame broiled beef, bacon, and barbecue sauce. Bring out your inner cowboy. Cowboy.
When water damage invades your home, call the Bright Green Cleanup Team at 1-800-SERVPRO. The training to make it like it never even happened.
Thank you.
You could save with Geico Motorcycle Insurance. Enough for a night out with your special someone. Geico Motorcycle. Let's ride.
New land. There's a new Land Rover. The all-new Land Rover LR2.
You want to reset, Frank? Hello again, everybody. I'm the Colonel Bob. Hello again, everybody. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. We're back here at a beautiful place called Katowice in Poland. We're at the Spodek Arena. Welcome to the many countries that are just joining us for the main event, and welcome back to the many countries that have been with us throughout the evening. Coming up, the 12-round IBO Cruiserweight Championship of the World, featuring the former IBF Cruiserweight champ, the former WBC champion, Tomasz ADAMEK at the light heavyweight division. Tomasz ADAMEK and Luis Pineda. Let me get that straight now. There's a lot of confusion at ringside. There's a tremendous amount of noise here. Tomasz ADAMEK is a former light heavyweight champ. Tomasz ADAMEK will be making his way out shortly. First, I believe we'll see Luis Pineda. Pineda comes in here with a record of 21-5. He's from Darin in Panama. There's the IBO belt. Charlie Payne is the IBO supervisor from London. He's here. Marcus McDonald from London, doing his 22nd world title fight, is the referee. Our judges will be Torben Hansen from Denmark, Richard Green from Miami in the United States, and Lehan Omar.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Luis Pineda.
The words of Jacek Lenatovitz, and here comes Pineda. Pineda, a typical Latin fighter with the Panamanian flag coming in. He'll be wearing the red, white, blue of Panama. Let's let the crowd noise carry it. It's very loud. Good crowd here to see championship boxing. Here he comes, Luis Pineda.
Do narożnika czerwonego zapraszam ważącego 89 kg 700 gramów, byłego mistrza świata Federacji WBC, międzynarodowego mistrza
continues to announce in Tomasz ADAMEK, a huge star here in Poland. His wife Dorita is here, his two daughters.
31 wins, 1 loss, with 21 wins by knockout from Katowice.
You take a look at the tail of the tape on Pineda. Tells you a few things. He's going to be shorter. He's going to be a little bit heavier. He's going to be older. And his reach is going to be the same as Tomasz ADAMEK. All right, the entrance for ADAMEK. Small hometown to see him, along with wife Dorota, daughters Roxana and Veronica. Roxana 10, Veronica 7. They may not realize it, but this guy is fighting for yet another world title. As you take a look at the tail of the tape on ADAMEK, you see he's 3 inches taller. It doesn't show that, but I'll tell you he is. He's 2 pounds heavier. He's 4 years younger at 30 years of age, and he's got exactly the same reach. Both these men are coming off losses. This year he lost a disputed decision to Chad Dawson. I thought it probably went the right way. Lost his title, but he's right back with it. Here's the anthems. I want to tell you folks, you can cut this atmosphere with a knife. This is some kind of excitement.
Jeszcze Polska nie zginęła, póki my żyjemy. Co nam obca przemoc wzięła, szablą odbierzemy. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski, za twoim przewodem złączę się z narodem. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, z ziemi włoskiej do Polski, za twoim przewodem złączę się z narodem.
This is the second championship fight in 3 weeks here. This is where Steve Cunningham, just a couple of weeks ago, bit Krzysztof Włodarczyk to win the championship of the cruiserweight division.
Tomasz
Jean-Marc Mormec, the undisputed champion, because he has 2 of the titles, and Steve Cunningham has the 3rd title. It's my understanding that Mormec is here to get a look at this guy, ADAMEK, because he probably will fight him before the year's over, but he may have a mandatory. Let's listen. Marcus McDonald, his 22nd world title fight from London, England. 10-point must-scoring system, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rules. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, only the ref can stop the fight. The IBO rules, in other words, are the same as the ABC rules, the Association of Boxing Commissioners. Once again, welcome everybody watching on the MSG Network and Fox across the nation and around the world. Here we go. Both of them have the black trunks. They look black on your screen. Now I can see as it lightens up as the blue trunks of Luis Pineda. Pineda has the fringe on his trunks. ADAMEK is a strong fighter, 31-1, 21 knockouts. Pineda 21-5. He has 18 knockouts, so both of these guys have some zip and some crack in their punches.
I tell you what, you know, this Pineda can punch. His last outing was for a world title against Valerie Rudolph, I believe, Colonel, and his second opportunity. So this is his 3rd shot at a world title.
Well, he's a good one. He fought Rudolph last December, and he lost that fight. That fight again in Paris. So here he comes to Poland to fight ADAMEK in his backyard. This guy isn't afraid to leave Panama to go fighting. He's a terrific fighter. All 5 of his losses, by the way, have been by knockouts. So he's going to watch that he doesn't get caught by this guy, because ADAMEK can blast.
Absolutely. I think the test here is going to see it's a big weight differential coming up from light heavyweight to cruiserweight.
Will ADAMEK have the power is what you're asking?
Exactly.
Well, we'll find out if he does. And, of course, when you're moving up, the other thing that he's been working on to develop is his defensive tactics and moving his head. I don't see a lot of head movement right now. He's sort of coming straight ahead and pulling straight out. Now he takes a little step off to the right, looping right hand by Pineda. Pineda does no damage with that one. Catches him with a left jab right in the nose. Now he turns up the pace, does ADAMEK. Loads up the right hand, misses the right hand a second time. Gets the jab in his face in between. Some of you people must understand that in the Armed Forces Network, some people are listening to this on radio, so that's a situation if I describe too much for you.
Tell you what, you know, ADAMEK in his loss this past February to bad Chad Dawson, I thought he abandoned his jab. I want to see if he can recapture what he had in the Briggs fights when he burst on the scene a couple years back.
Well, ADAMEK is dictating, and as I say that, stepping up with a textbook jab is Pineda. Whenever you see a guy drive off that back foot, that's the kind of jab you want to throw. He snaps it and drives off the back foot. That's technically perfect. And you have to do that against ADAMEK. Notice ADAMEK pushing off his back foot. Wild with the left hand as it sails far wide of the jaw. Ticketed of Tomasz ADAMEK.
ADAMEK he's a good, tough guy, Colonel. When he's as a light heavyweight, he was the kind of guy that was in fights. He loved to fight, and that's what I'm hoping to see tonight.
Well, he's got that stiff jab. I don't want to compare it to Larry Holmes because nobody had a jab like Larry, but he's got the idea to throw it with a proper technique off that back foot, stepping up in it, and then you notice boom, boom, the last series with the left hand and the right behind it, followed by a left hook. Closing seconds now, the 10th. There it is again, the combination. This is good stuff. Right back comes Pineda. The bell ends round 1.
The all-new 40,000 square foot Autobahn Volkswagen facility in Evanston is now open, and we're celebrating at all 3 Autobahn Volkswagen megastores with special pricing and incentives. 600 new Volkswagens, 0% APR financing. #1 Volkswagen values at the #1 Volkswagen dealer group in the Midwest. The Autobahn Volkswagen megastores in Evanston, Mount Prospect, and Countryside. Check out all our specials at theautobahn.com.
Round 2 at Katowice, Poland. at the Spodek Arena, about half filled, but this place seats 23,000, so they've got over 10,000 people here. That's a good turnout on a brutally hot night here in Poland.
It's god-awful hot. It's even hotter inside if you're Pineda or ADAMEK right now.
Tomasz ADAMEK, the guy in the black trunks to the right of your screen, former world light heavyweight champ, stepping up to cruiserweight to fight for the IBO championship. You don't want to recognize the IBO? Well, you have to, because if this guy wins it, he's going to get a shot at a world title again. So for him, the IBO might be the lesser of the big four, I'll call them. But nonetheless, to win this title gives him a world championship, and he will be considered because it's about money, it's about flash, it's about style. This guy will fight for a world title again. It's also about the fact that Don King controls John Momek, and he also controls Steve Cunningham. So he's got three of the big four, because you can throw in O'Neal Bell,
exactly,
you know, to the mix.
Exactly. It's a good division right now, and the onset of Tomasz ADAMEK even makes it more exciting. And you don't forget the big trucks, Wayne Braithwaite's out there. These kind of guys are, it's a typically good division right now. Oh, big shot.
He caught him with a good shot. Didn't rock him, but he got his eye, really got his attention.
And you got to wonder, you wonder if ADAMEK has the power at this weight, or how big really is Luis Pineda? He weighed in at 199, I believe, 99 and a half, but that was 24 hours ago or so. So you got to wonder, these guys might be a heavyweight right now.
Now, he might have come in here at 210 or 212, but he's going to leave here about 185 because the sweat is pouring out of both of these guys. We're only in round number 2 with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go, and it is hot. ADAMEK with the combinations has been the biggest difference. He's getting the angles. He's moving left to right. Zips out with that left hand. Bang, bang, bang. Well, there's a left hook that got him. This is what this kid can do. He's an action fighter. Pineda slowing down just a bit, and as he slows down, ADAMEK, who fights from his toes, driving up the back foot, feints a little bit. A pretty good right hand thrown by Pineda, but rolling with the punch was ADAMEK.
I think, Pineda's learned a lot since his one-round defeat to Wayne Braithwaite back in December of 03, I believe it was. He got blasted out in the early, I think the first or second round in that fight. And since then, he's improved, and he won 11 rounds with Rudolph in this past December. So it's a matter of how much power does Tomasz have, and it's, again, what does he have for in defense of Pineda's power?
Well, after his loss to Braithwaite, he reeled off wins over Luis Rizal down in Panama City. Then he had wins over Ordóñez in Argentina. And then he had wins over Tito Mendoza and Eduardo Franca in Panama City. Then his loss, and it was a tough, hard fight to Valery Rudolph when he was stopped in the 11th round. Well, we're past 2, and it's pretty exciting for the people here. And I hope wherever you're watching around the world, you're enjoying it. Luis Pineda, Hector Rangel, and Francisco Arroyo work that corner. And there's ADAMEK.
Let's just take a look at some of the action from there. This good left-right combination by Tomasz ADAMEK, and he's barely missing to land it right on the button. So the heat's starting to warm up a little bit inside the ring as much as it is out here as we sit here sweating.
Boy,
it's going to be something.
Sweating. You're not kidding. Coming up to round number 3. Glad that you can be with us in Madison Square Garden, wherever you're watching around the world. Say hello to my friends watching in New Zealand, Georgie Calvert, Dean Lonigan, and all the boys at Painaway, Angelo Hyder, and the guys in Australia. Here we go, round number 3. Tomasz ADAMEK, Luis Pineda. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. With me is Carl King. ADAMEK in the black trunks, dancing left, dancing now to his left. Takes a shot off the hands of Pineda. Now he moves away. You see, Carl, the way he gets away. The difference in this between the two fighters, ADAMEK has the hand speed, he's got the foot speed, he's got the great left jab, and he knows how to throw combinations. We haven't seen any of that from Pineda. Pineda's just a true grit, typical Latino fighter, in that he's tough as nails.
Yeah, he does one way, and that's to come straight ahead. Tomasz is an excellent boxer with great power in both hands, and he's tough. He can take it, and he's destined to really want to win. He wants his will to win.
When I'm talking about Latino fighters, I'm talking about guys like Ricardo Lopez, arguably the greatest pure boxer that ever lived, and Roberto Duran, both of whom are being inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend in Canastota. So to Ed Brophy and the whole crowd up there, and another great, great man that I consider a great man. Many of you don't, but I think he's done so much for boxing, is Jose El Presidente Suleiman from the WBC. Look at this! Wow!
It's starting to heat up in there. It's a matter of Pineda. Can he take the shots from ADAMEK? You know, he's getting hit a little more frequently this round than he has in the previous two. So we're going to see something really special, I think, in the next coming round.
And for you people that may think that I'm brainwashed by the WBC, you take a look at the record of the WBC and all the good medical things that Jose Suleiman has done. Meanwhile, ADAMEK loads up 3 crashing shots to the head of Pineda. He's really taking command here in round 3.
Demonstrating some great boxing skills, lateral movement, dexterity. He's really moving around. And he's back to using that jab. That stick is something that he has to keep in motion in order to be back to the form that he was prior to his losing to Dawson.
2 Don King vice presidents watching back home in Deerfield Beach tonight. Dana Jameson, Celia Tuckman. Wish you could be here. I know you enjoy this, Dandy. But it is hot in here. And believe me, you're better off in the AC in Deerfield.
It is warm. It is.
I'm going to be down there with my old coach, Ron Frazier, on Monday night. Ron having a 1965 championship baseball team from the University of Miami. So my pals, they're all going to be there when I salute our old coach.
Gotta love the U. You gotta love the U.
Look at this. ADAMEK continues to work as he blasts to the rib now of Pineda. And, of course, our executive producer tells me that our coordinating producer, Jason Bardell, is tossing back a few Guinnesses with Tommy Donahoe in the crowd in New Jersey. So I hope you're enjoying it. Oh, look at this. As the bell ends.
Oh. Damsel in distress. Watch and learn. The Wizard. Little help, miss? I got it. Freak.
You can't always be smooth, but your beer should be. With a specially lined can to seal in the taste, Keystone Light is always smooth, even when you're not.
Hey, my man, you know where the chips are? Let's get you home.
Number 4 from Spodek Arena here in Katowice in Poland. The Colonel Bob Sheridan here, along with Carl King. We've got a dandy, although it's sort of one-sided right now. ADAMEK is winning all 3 of the first 3 rounds of my score sheet anyway. Tomasz ADAMEK with his back to you right now with a decent jab, a really good jab at times, using movement, slipping punches. The kid from Panama takes a shot, and another one off the right hand. How about staggering him, Carl? He's loose at the knees.
That would look like it is. He's starting to get hit with more solid shots now, and he can't afford to do that this early in the fight. That could spell disaster for Louis Pineda.
Well, Pineda trains down there in Panama. He's used to the heat, but there's a left, right hand. Good right hand shot that time by ADAMEK. Good left hook. ADAMEK's got it all going for him right now. Stand back. Look at the way he slips out of that corner and around. The foot speed, I told you, was the difference in this fight. The hand speed and the jab. All of that you saw. Face left. Bounces back to his right. Plants. Let's fly with a left jab. Nothing big. Referee McDonald says, hey, keep it going, guys. This is too good. Don't slow down. Hey, it's hot.
It is hot, and I tell you what, Tomas is warming up very, very well. He's fighting a good look. Good. Oh, my goodness, Colonel. He's hitting him with everything.
The right hand got through, too. Pineda's waiting too much. If he's going to win this fight, he's got to grab this guy. He can't fight from outside. This is the kitchen of Tomasz ADAMEK. It's just perfect for him out here. In and out. The old Angelo Dundee, hit and don't get hit. And that's what he's doing right now. Pot-shotting this guy. See how he kind of moves his shoulders forward, brings his stomach back on the inside, tries to spin him out with the left-hand movement of his head. This is terrific stuff. This is why look at that move. Remember, ring generalship and defense is part of the scoring. This defense that he's showing here is great.
Oh, he's phenomenal, you know. And as he claimed, you know, he had a problem making the weight, and now he looks very comfortable at this 200-pound limit. And that could spell danger for a whole lot of people in the cruiserweight division.
Well, not only this guy, I think he's proving against Pineda that he can hold up against a guy who tonight is probably, I would say, 15 pounds heavier than he is, meaning he can stand it. And we may not see the knockout ratio by ADAMEK, but that's not the be-all and end-all. Look at this! Whoa! Just as I say we not see a knockout, we may not see one. We may well see one. How about that?
This fight is really heating up. It's a good action-packed fight, and ADAMEK has really demonstrated some skills tonight that was missing in February against Dawson.
Well, you know, as I said, it's kind of a lopsided fight scoring-wise, but I mean, the genius of the boxing of ADAMEK, that's good enough for me. I don't care about the scoring. Look at this kid work. Look at him. And to Pineda's credit, he tries to come back. He's loading up.
Today, we're showing you how to deal with sexual harassment in the workplace. When wearing a Hager suit-up system, you gotta be prepared for that kind of thing.
They're made right, so you can get the pants and jacket that fit you best right off the rack. Ladies, your advances are not appreciated.
Let's think about something more pleasant for a minute.
Good idea. How about this? Hager clothes are guaranteed for life.
Oh.
Did you see that?
My friend is not your sexual plaything. Totally unprofessional.
Till next time, we'll be right here, making things right.
What's as fresh as our burgers and as easy to love? Simple. Our fresh jumbo lump crab cake. All jumbo lump meat, nearly no cake. A taste with no equal. And our fresh premium aged prime sirloin. Cut from the best of the best beef.
Prime is what a steak lover lives for.
Almost too tender for a knife. Too juicy for words. Jumbo lump crab cake. Premium aged prime sirloin. That's simple, fresh American dining. Ruby Tuesday.
This is round 5. We're in Poland. Spodek at Katowice. Katowice just a little bit north of the Czech Republic and just a little bit west of the Ukraine. Southern Poland. And it is hot. It's hot outside. It's hotter inside. No air conditioning. This is round number 5. No wilt in Tomasz ADAMEK. He breathes the oxygen of the 1,000 people that came from his hometown. He breathes the oxygen of his wife, Dorota, being here. He breathes the oxygen of his 2 children being here. And the kid from Panama is all alone, except for Rengal and Arroyo in his corner. And he's having a tough time with a much better boxer. This is a tough kid, is Pineda. Remember, he's 21-5, 18 knockouts from Panama. This isn't any chump change guy that they're watching Tomasz ADAMEK work on here. With a minute gone here, it's all ADAMEK.
Yes, it is. And, you know, this is a good, because Tomasz can't afford to sit still and stand in front of a guy like Louis Pineda. And yet Pineda doesn't seem to have the forward movement that's necessary in order to offset what Tomasz is doing right now.
Well, the problem is his forward movement consists of coming straight into ADAMEK. And look at the way ADAMEK works his angles. ADAMEK to the right of your screen, in black, in the white shoes with a little bit of red trim and the red, white, and blue, indicative of the colors of the flag of his home country of Panama. See, he walks away, he sets up, and he stops. He comes into the kill zone without throwing. Big mistake, because look what happens. And he pays dearly for that mistake. Carl, part of that is a jet lag, part of that is a fatigue of the fact that he's getting hit. Part of it might be the heat, although you'd think a guy from Panama could handle humidity.
You would think so, and you know, it's just, I think it's just a style. I think Tomasz is boxing beautifully at this point. He's moving, he's not getting hit, he's using his jab well, and that's all the difference in the world from what I can see thus far.
Well, I'll tell you, for a guy that has no movement like Pineda, it is a perfect opponent. A little bit of a low blow, and you know what? ADAMEK doesn't complain. He just cuts loose with the right hand. It sailed past the temporal bone of Pineda, but he doesn't whine. He just wants to nail him. Now they're getting warned about pulling down on the heads. That's not ADAMEK that's pulling on the head. Look at this. Jab, jab, right hand. Pineda plods forward. He wants to do as best he can. ADAMEK gets away, up on his toes, gets set now. Let's see if he comes with a jab. See, he never enters the zone without throwing. Even if he doesn't get a piece of the guy, Carl, or only catches his shoulder. Look at this. He punishes him. When he's in the zone, he's throwing. Then he comes back out. He resets. He's just really outclassing this guy right now.
It's a perfect, style-wise, perfect matchup thus far. as you can see, Louis Pineda is just a little bit slower than what typically needs to be.
All right, we're going to go to break at the end of this round, and the bell is going to sound to end round number 5. Come right back.
Feeling real good about lunch today. This new KFC biscuit bowl's got all my favorites. It's got chicken.
I got a burger.
Mashed potatoes.
Fries.
Got corn and gravy, cheese, and now it comes with a biscuit.
Well, I got a bun. It's kind of like a biscuit.
Not even a little bit.
Biscuit-esque.
No, it's not.
Introducing the new chicken and biscuit bowl from KFC. Layers of mashed potatoes, sweet corn, all white meat chicken, new home-style white gravy, and a 3-cheese blend. And now it comes with a buttermilk biscuit. Dig into great layers of flavor with new KFC famous bowls.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
This is round number 6. It's scheduled for 12. At stake, the IBO Cruiserweight Championship of the World. That's the 200-pound division. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. With me is Carl King. The principals, Tomasz ADAMEK, the former light heavyweight champ of the world, moving up to Cruiserweight to fight for the championship here tonight of the IBO against Luis Pineda, a tough kid. 21-5 record, 18 knockouts from Darien and Panama. But tonight, it's all ADAMEK. ADAMEK has won every round of my score sheet, and I would expect the judges in attendance see it the same way. ADAMEK, a textbook fight for him. Doing everything right, driving off that back foot for his jab, following with the right hand. He's got Pineda a little bit frustrated. What does Pineda do? I expect to see some low blows soon.
You know, it's got to come sooner or later. You got to throw some punches. He cannot continue to fight in this manner and with any expectations of winning.
You know, Carl, we saw the replay in between the rounds that you fans watching at home and MSG didn't get a chance to see. Tell him about the power shots as you see him in slow motion that ADAMEK landed.
He looks like he's very, very comfortable at this cruiserweight 200-pound weight limit.
Well, that's a big thing. It's going to be big sparks of fly in the cruiserweight division. Chopping right hand landed by Pineda. That only gets an adrenaline flow going by Tomasz ADAMEK.
Absolutely. You know, ADAMEK, even as a light heavyweight, was a warrior in the ring. The 2 Paul Briggs fights were like fights of the year. They were great fights. And he took apart a guy named Thomas Ulrich in Germany. This kid can really fight.
Yeah, he took apart Ulrich in between wars with my pal Paul Briggs down there, the Hurricane. Paul Briggs, I thought he might have won the first fight. It was that close, but in the end, it worked out against him. And in the second fight, I thought Paul fought even better. It was just as close, and it was a war. And you know something? Sometimes at the wars like that, a fighter doesn't perform as well. And maybe that's what happened to ADAMEK in his last fight. But by golly, he's back, and he's back big as a cruiserweight.
Absolutely. I think this is a very comfortable weight thus far. It looks like it's very comfortable for him. His movement is good. His jab is back. He looks hydrated. It looks very good.
Hey, Paul, I wanted you to get back in the saddle. I know you and Angelo Hyder and Jeff Fennick and the boys are all watching with Alex and Adam Bella down there in Australia tonight. So you get a hold of Milson Tevin out of Qantas, and he'll put you on that airplane, and you come out to Vegas, and I'll take care of you, kid. You come out and visit me, and I'll get Kevin Berry to train you, and you bring your own guys from Australia, and we'll get you some fights right away. Don King will have you in this mix. You're a great fighter and a great kid. This is a terrific battle right now. 19 seconds to go. Just another terrific round for ADAMEK. Just a few seconds to go now in the 6th round. Another big round for ADAMEK. Closing seconds now. Here comes the bell to end round 6.
Burley trying to make history.
Empire makes living easy with windows that are worry-free. Our triple-pane windows are energy efficient and feature self-cleaning glass. Plus, you get a lifetime limited glass breakage warranty. Call Empire today and we'll bring a wide selection to choose from. We install in just 2 weeks. Saving is easy too with warehouse direct prices. And no payments for a year. Get new windows with just one call. Doesn't get easier than that.
800-588-2300
Today.
All right, this is round number 7. The Spodek Arena here in Katowice, Poland. The Colonel along with Carl. And look at this. Now the corner has told Pineda, you better pick it up, kid, or you're going to lose this fight. I have been trailing unofficially after 6, 60-54, meaning that ADAMEK has won every single round. Again, that's unofficial, but I would expect the judges couldn't have it much any other way.
I don't think so. This guy's pitching a shutout, so it's quite interesting to see if Pineda can step it up and get in the mix and land a big shot.
Well, he's got the right attitude, but when he's getting pot-shotted like this by ADAMEK, he's almost the perfect opponent for ADAMEK. You know, we criticized a couple of the matchmaking jobs tonight because fighters had some difficult times, and we saw an upset earlier. But this is a perfect matchup for ADAMEK. He is hurt. He's ready to go. ADAMEK is pounding him. If he doesn't get down, the referee may stop the fight. ADAMEK is pummeling him. He's sliding around. He's out on his feet. That's it. It's all over. It's all over. ADAMEK has done it in his backyard. He's the brand new IBO Cruiserweight Champion of the world. Tomasz ADAMEK has done it.
Unbelievable, Colonel. What a great finish.
There's a beaten fighter. When ADAMEK got him in trouble, he knew what to do. He finished, and he finished strong. Wow, how about that? I'm as gassed as if I was one of the fighters in that one. That was a terrific finish, Carl.
It was. You know, Tomasz ADAMEK stepped up big time tonight, and he put that, when he turned the heat up at the end, he just landed some big shots, and Louis Pineda had to succumb to that type of power.
Well, Louis tried to come out at the start of the 7th round, but he just couldn't execute anything. And I'm not going to blame the heat anymore. I mean, both guys had to fight in it. ADAMEK this is an example of a guy with more skill than the other. He gets the Duke. There it is, the IBO Cruiserweight Champion of the world, Tomasz ADAMEK. And boy, oh boy, does your dad, the promoter Don King, have his hands full. He's up to his ears in Jean-Marc Mormec, O'Neal Bell, Christoph Vodarchik, Steve Cunningham, David Hay, Vadim Takada from Russia, Enzo Maccanelli from Wales, Fred Olsen from Germany, Marco Huck from Germany, Jonathan Banks from Detroit, Darnell Wilson, just to mention a few.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this guy's going to burst on the scene in this division just like he did in the light heavyweight division.
Well, while I have a chance before Don King comes down here, the beauties here in Poland, I want to congratulate the entire staff here. Bogusz, Bagsik, you put on one great show, and in all the fights I've done around the world, I must say, I've never been entertained or treated like I've been in Poland, and I think, Carl, you can say that too. This country is on the scene, like Germany a few years ago. He's on the scene here. Poland is going to be around a long time, as is MSG in boxing.
I think you're right. And take a look at this. This is the end of the fight. He got nailed with a big right hand, and I'm actually quite surprised he didn't hit the deck. Again, we allude to what you said earlier about taking the knee. These guys don't have it in them to take a knee. That might have been better for Louis at that particular moment in the fight, but it was inevitable what was going to come anyway.
Carl, you're right. It was inevitable, but the guy is going to be thinking, when you're fighting for world titles, you got to know what to do. Pineda didn't know what to do. He was gassed, and you know, it's very easy again for us to sit here and criticize that he should have taken the knee. Two things happen. It's not the nature of a fighter to want to do that. Number two, they don't have all their wherewithal. I know guys that I've talked to after the fight don't even remember what round it was. You know, guys ask me about about fights 2 or 3 fights ago. I'm doing fights almost every single week. I can't recall who fought yesterday. Sometimes I can't recall who fought earlier in this fight. I know I'm getting up there. All right, we're going to have Don King down here. It's been a terrific night. Don wants to wrap it up because I understand that he's got big plans for both ADAMEK and Galata. You won't want to miss it. Stick right with us. ADAMEK is a brand new IBO champion of the world.